for this video, we are going to see how factoring works. First, we need to remember the special products in our algebra or GenMath. So we have this, the first one. Okay, so the first one, we call this one x squared minus y squared equals the quantity of x plus y times x minus y. This is the difference of two squares. Difference of two squares. Two squares. Next, we have, of course, x squared plus 2x plus y squared equals x, quantity of x plus y squared, and also x squared minus 2xy plus y squared equals the quantity of x minus y squared. So this is our square of a binomial. Square of a binomial. Okay, and lastly we have x cubed plus y cubed equals the quantity of x plus y times the quantity of x squared minus xy plus y squared, and x cubed minus y cubed equals the quantity of x minus y times x squared plus xy plus y squared. Of course, it's very obvious, if this is difference of two squares, this is the difference and the sum of two cubes. Okay, so the most important special product here we are mostly going to use is this, and of course we will also have the factoring. Okay, so we know that, or you know that in your own language as the FOIL method. Okay, sorry, this is FOIL method. Okay, so do not forget FOIL method. Let's have example number 1. Evaluate the limit of x squared minus 1 over x minus 1 as x approaches 1. Okay, so let's solve. So using factoring, we need to look at the given. Of course, before we start, we need to assure ourselves that the given is actually a or an indeterminate form. So using what? We can use substitution rule first. So using substitution rule, okay, so by substituting 1, this will give us 1 squared, which is 1 minus 1 over 1 minus 1. Okay, and since 1 minus 1 is just 0 over 0, so we need to look for the real answer. Again, this is not yet the real answer. So in limits, in trying to look at the limits, 0 over 0 and infinity over infinity cannot be the answer. So either the answer is a number, it does not exist, or infinities. Okay, so since it's 0 over 0, we need to use factoring. Okay, so we need to use our tools. So the first one is factoring. Observe that the given x squared minus 1 is actually a difference of two squares. So why? Because of course x squared is squared and 1 is actually 1 squared. Okay, remember 1 is just 1 squared. Hence we can use our special product. So we can say that the limit is actually x, okay, plus 1 times x minus 1, okay, all over x minus 1. Again, why x plus 1 times x minus 1? Because x squared minus 1 is just x plus 1, quantity of x plus 1 times x minus 1. So let's approach this to 1. Okay, now observe. We can now cancel out, okay, x minus 1 over x minus 1. This will give us x plus 1. So we have limit of x plus 1 as x approaches 1. And since we cannot cancel out anything, we will go back to our substitution rule. So let's try to substitute now. Let's test. So if it's actually working. Okay, so let's go down for a bit. Okay, so by substitution, this will give us 1 plus 1, which is 2. And hence, this is our limit. Again, the answer is not 0 over 0. We can never have an answer 0 over 0. So, in case that you find a scenario of 0 over 0, it means that you should use one of the techniques in finding the limit for indeterminate forms. In this scenario, we use factoring. Let's have example number 2. So we are asked to evaluate the limit of x squared minus x minus 6 all over x minus 3 as x approaches 3. Let's go to the board. Okay, first step, again, we try to evaluate the function using substitution rule first to check if there is an answer. Because if there is an answer, then we don't need to use factoring. If there is no answer, if it's 0 over 0, okay, then we need to do some manipulation, algebraic manipulations. Okay, so we have 3 squared is 9 minus 3 minus 6 all over 3 minus 3. Okay, so 9 minus 3 minus 6 is actually 0. Okay, and 3 minus 3 is 0. Hence, this is an indeterminate form. Again, this is indeterminate form. Indeterminate. Okay, and whenever we have indeterminate forms, this is not yet the final answer. We have agreed in our first example, this is not the final answer. So since this is not the final answer, we need to use our tools, either factoring, either using conjugates, or trigo identities. But in this case, since we're discussing factoring, of course, we're going to use factoring. So how do we know if it's factoring? Obviously, it cannot be trigo identities because it does not contain, the given does not contain any trigonometric function. It is not also conjugate. Okay, so because, so conjugate, we use conjugate if there exists a rational or radicals in the given. Okay, in this scenario, we don't have any radicals. We don't have any trigonometric functions. Hence, we can only stick to factoring. Okay, so observe the given here in our numerator. Okay, in our denominator, of course, we cannot factor out anything in our denominator. It's already simplified. But in our numerator, observe that this can be factored. Okay, so what will be the factor? So try to think of a number if we multiplied by, try to think of two numbers. If multiplied, the answer is negative 6 and the sum is negative 1. So how did I know what to multiply? Okay, so multiply the first and the last term. So it's negative 6. So we are going to try to think of a number. If we multiply them, the answer is negative 6. And the middle term determines the sum of these two numbers. Okay, it's negative 1. Okay, try to think of a number. Of course, there's only two possibilities for us to have negative 6 and negative 6 for the product and negative 1 for the sum. Either we have negative 3 times 2 or 2 times negative 3. And this is also true for plus or for the addition. Negative 3 plus 2 or 2 plus negative 3 is negative 1. Okay, hence our factor or factors, let me move first. Our factors will be x minus 3 and x plus 2. Okay, so let's try to write the limit. So limit as x approaches 3 all over x minus 3. So we just copied the given. So observe that we can now cancel out x minus 3. Okay, and this will give us x plus 2. So we will have limit of x plus 2 x plus 2 as x approaches 3. Okay, so since we cannot simplify further, we can now substitute. Okay, so substituting our answer or our value of x to our answer, so we will have 3 plus 2, and hence our limit is 5.